Hey there, folks. Skip Erskine here, Values Driven Coaching, and welcome to your Tuesday takeaway. So let's jump right in, shall we? This is week 10. That's my calibration, maybe not yours, but we're going to talk about how to make your price easier to defend. So it is the idea that the fact we lay out so many different nuggets of information, credentials, experience, dots on the map, coverage, bandwidth, team expertise, training, safety, all these different things kind of like get all thrown into. And unless you're like this procurement department that kind of pulls it all apart, then wraps it back up and makes a actual defensible solution and a defensible argument as to who should be the best service provider going forward, it's just a property manager trying to make a good decision. So when you can make your price easier to defend, and that means your higher price, I'm not saying jack it up, I'm not saying charge inordinate profits, but you want to have the bandwidth that keeps you around. Not just that, but enables you to be responsive, be adaptive, be proactive, be the one that they can actually produce outcomes, they can count on to produce outcomes and provide evidence and give them confidence. So let's jump in, shall we? Here we go. So on the buyer side, let's talk about the hidden burden. Property manager is not the only one who's got to be satisfied. They have to, they're the gatekeeper to the decision that gets made, and usually theirs is the name that's on it. But look at all the people who get involved in this thing that they have to defend their argument. So if they don't pick the lowest bidder and cheapest can win, and they can kind of like wash their hands of the entire process, they need to actually satisfy all these different stakeholders. You got the asset manager and the owner, that could be synonymous. You get the regional leadership directory of property management, that could be synonymous. You get the operations people, you get the procurement people, you get accounting, you get all these different hoops that you got to jump through, so that in order for them to make a defensible decision, you got to equip them with everything that they need to make your value visible. So a person who likes you may not be the only person who must approve you. And accounting probably doesn't like you because they don't know you. And the asset manager may not even know you because that's what they rely on the property manager to do. But the property manager holds the key to that particular message. So equip the property manager, and then they can be able to defend you whether or not you're in the room. We're going to talk about that here momentarily. The question across the table. We like them. We really like them, but how do I explain that price difference? How do I explain that higher price to my owners? So here's what the provider presented. We have better people, better service, better supervision, better technology, better reputation. Great, 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 great. Boxes checked all day long. That's great. But the buyer still can't make the decision based upon better. Yeah, you might be better than the rest, but I can't put that on paper. I need a visible benefit. I need relevance, evidence. Show me that you reduce risk. Show me that you give me a defensible business case. Show me where you've done this for others and have created an extraordinary outcome. Incomplete value language. Let's talk about the language that your clients actually need to hear. True doesn't always mean defensible. So if you say we provide exceptional service, what they really need is, okay, what does it improve because it's exceptional? Great, you can have the highest standards in the world, but why should I pay for that? What does it actually create? Enhancement, is it risk reduction? What does it do? Our people are highly trained. Great. What risk does that reduce? We're more responsive. Well, how quickly and why does that matter? We use cutting edge technology. Great. That's like a feature. It's just like the most up to date. Great. What decision or outcome does that improve? Our clients stay with us. Great. What does that actually reveal about your performance? So do the math for them. That's the dot connecting. That's your job to do. You can make all these claims, and that's great on paper, but they don't know what to do with that information. So a differentiator is only the beginning of the value conversation. Just because you say something, and you can defend it, that's great. Give them something to actually articulate and defend upstream. So the defensibility test. What meaningful outcome gets improved? So tie your value to time, risk, quality, readiness, experience, retention. or budget confidence. I'd add one more. How about reputation? What does that outcome actually do for the property manager's reputation? Does it enhance the reputation or does it degrade the reputation? Is it accretive or dilutive, as they say in grad school? Number two, what evidence supports the claim? Real evidence, hard data. Use numbers, trends, images, comparisons, before and afters. Love it. Document the observation. Three, what risk or cost does the choice reduce? So property managers are there to do two primary things: increase value, decrease risk. You do one of those two things, you're embraced. Very good. Show them what your program, what your platform, what the actual service creates for them, reduces for them, enhances for them. Do the math for them. And then they'll make your price more defensible. From differentiator to defensible value. Here we go. We got a capability. We have experienced supervisors. Okay, that's a what? And issues are identified and corrected earlier. Okay, that's a when. Then it's like the impact is fewer repeat deficiencies and escalations. Okay, the less deficiencies, what? And then the business meeting is less property management follow-up, lower disruption, lower cost of political capital burn, greater confidence. Okay, now we've started to flip it over. Just because I'm seeing less, what does it actually give me? Well, it gives me bandwidth back. It gives me confidence. It gives me trust that I can actually explain upstream. Do not make the buyer connect the dots for you. Do not let them do your math. Do not use your denominators and just say, see, this is a 168-hour account, and just leave it at that. Do not leave it to them. Leave it to you to connect the dots and show them the whole thing. So what defensible value sounds like. So in landscaping, let's take a look at this. We have in-house horticultural expertise. Fantastic on paper. That's the what. What that creates is quicker responses to plant issues. Oh, we got some fungus over here, better address it. Prevents unnecessary replacements. Oh, okay, you've just gotten in front of it and corrected it, making more fertilizer, maybe a certain treatment, what have you. What does that create? Stronger curb appeal, better leasing readiness. Oh, okay, so that in-house expert all of a sudden created a higher probability to make leasing. Wow, did a landscaper actually know that what that horticultural expert actually does and could mean for them? That's the math you've got to do for them. Janitorial, documented quality controls. That means fewer repeat deficiencies, fewer, I missed the trash again, it's one more day. And that means fewer complaints and less PM follow-up. And what does that create? More bandwidth conversion back to them. We've taken this off, you get to do, you stick to your knitting. Security, highly trained officers. Okay, that's the what. That means that they can exercise better judgment and have more prompt incident responses. And that actually reduces risk and creates greater tenant confidence. So in the security world, it's all about how do you mitigate, how do you thwart any crimes as a deterrent before they actually become incidents. So it's all the readiness, it's the training, it's the ability to do things, but also you have to be that perfect answer man that gets people from point A to point B while sizing up the security risk. So the service changes, the translation discipline does not. So do the math for them. Take them down the road. Okay, equip the conversation you may never hear. So this is where your property manager's on their own. Okay, little Johnny, I've taught you everything I know. You need to know. Now go defend me. Go make the argument. Go lay out the business case. So if you've equipped them and they can actually travel with it and go outside a room that you're not in, and they're not simply the higher quality provider, but their approach reduces these risks, boom, 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 and improves these particular outcomes, boom, 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 and enhances this kind of value, boom, 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 and gives us this kind of evidence that their price is justified, boom, boom, boom. Do you have any questions, Your Honor? And the answer is, asked and answered, Your Honor, no. So value must be travel. Value must travel without you. So equip them with the entire case. And that means evidence, that means backup, that means third parties, that means, there's some documentation here, there's some effort, but is a higher price and a higher profit margin and a higher bandwidth for your own team worth it? Absolutely. Get out of the low bid game and play at a higher level. So this week's value challenge, we do X. Just fill in the blanks, which creates or enhances this. Fill in the blanks, which reduces or prevents these types of bad things, which we can demonstrate it through doing these types of role plays or what have you. And this matters because, and who does it matter to? The stakeholders, the owner, the property manager, the tenants, the guests, the prospects, anybody else who has a vested interest in that particular building. And then ask, could a property manager repeat this to ownership in 60 seconds or less? You've seen the movie Under 60 Seconds. What was that, Nicolas Cage? All right, you need to equip them to do this. The what, why, what's the impact, what's the benefit, and what did it reduce, enhance, the whole kit and caboodle in 60 seconds or less. If not, simplify the language until the value can travel without you in that seat. Okay, this week, and this week only, for this go around, we have the upcoming masterclass, Escaping the Low Bid Trap. This is new and improved, and I'm offering it 2 different times. This is Tuesday at 10 and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time. Make your value visible, measurable, and easier to defend. Your property manager should never have to create the argument for choosing you. You should be able to equip them with everything, and I teach that in this week's masterclass. So be sure to enroll, strap in, come ready, pen and paper in hand, and take all the notes that you need. And in this Escaping the Low Bid Trap, you're actually going to be given the construct that'll enable you to see your sales mastery gap. And the more that you can focus on closing that gap, the more business you can actually close by closing that gap. Get it? Close the gap, close more deals. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Get Berskin, values-driven coaching, and thank you again for the value of your time, and I'll see you in class. No Apple required.